Africa, a land where life operates under nature's most ancient laws. On the vast savanna, every species, from predator to prey, is bound together in a delicate web of survival. And sometimes, at fragile boundaries like riverbanks, apex predators are forced to confront one another. A survival encounter on the African savanna. The gentle morning sunlight spills across the African savanna, casting a golden hue over the dry land after a long night. In the midst of this immense landscape, beneath the canopy of an old acacia tree, a family of African wild dogs is resting, taking refuge from the steadily rising heat. If you're following this story, let us know. Where are you watching from? Leave a comment below. About 10 members are gathered closely together. Their bodies are slender, their long legs built for endless running, and their large ears constantly swivel in all directions. Biological radars capable of detecting danger from afar. Each dog's coat, mottled with yellow, black, and white, carries a unique pattern, like a natural fingerprint bestowed by nature itself. At the center of the pack is the alpha pair, an experienced male and female. In African wild dog society, only the dominant pair is allowed to breed. This helps the pack maintain order, avoid internal conflict, and focus all its energy on survival. Around them are pups, only a few months old. Still clumsy, yet full of life, playfully tumbling about in the rare shade of the acacia tree. African wild dogs are among the most efficient predators on the planet. Unlike lions or leopards, they do not rely on brute strength or ambush, but on absolute cooperation. Every individual in the pack has a role, and each dog's survival depends on the collective success of the group. As the sun climbs higher, the air seems to grow tense. The alpha female rises first, her body oriented toward the distant horizon. A single subtle movement is enough to alert the entire pack. Tails wag slightly, ears stand erect. The hunt is about to begin. Today's target is a wildebeest, a large grazing animal renowned for its endurance. The pack fans out, moving silently like ghosts across the grasslands. When the moment arrives, they burst forward. There is no single pounce, but a calculated chase. Individuals take turns closing in, biting at the prey's hind legs, forcing it to run continuously until exhaustion sets in. Eventually, the wildebeest collapses. The hunt ends swiftly. African wild dogs survive not through individual strength, but through the power of unity. Beneath the old acacia tree, as the hot wind sweeps across the land, the pack once again gathers together, ready for the next challenge this unforgiving world will bring. As the sun climbs higher, the heat on the savanna becomes intense. In a shallow depression nearby, where rainwater still lingers from the wet season, a dark mud pool becomes an ideal resting spot for familiar inhabitants of this land. Warthogs. Several individuals lie stretched out in the mud, almost motionless, with only their ears occasionally twitching. Their bodies are stocky, their thick gray skin nearly hairless, coated in a layer of cool mud. On their large heads are rough, protruding facial pads, the feature that gives them the name Warthog. These growths are not for decoration. They act as natural shields, helping protect the face when warthogs fight among themselves or confront predators with their sharp. Curved tusks. Mud bathing is an essential part of a warthog's life. The mud helps lower body temperature, protects the skin from the sun, and most importantly, drives away parasites. When the mud dries and flakes off, ticks, mites, and insects clinging to the skin are carried away with it. But warthogs are not alone in this grooming ritual. Around them, small, agile mongooses are constantly at work. They climb onto the warthogs' backs, necks, and heads, skillfully searching for ticks and parasites. This is a perfect symbiotic relationship. Mongooses gain a plentiful food source, while warthogs are cleaned effortlessly. Despite their clumsy and slow appearance, warthogs are highly alert animals. Their eyes are always watching, and their ears rotate continuously to catch the faintest sounds. When feeding, they often kneel on their front knees, lowering their heads close to the ground to graze on short grass, an unusual but highly effective posture. At the slightest sign of danger, warthogs can spring up and sprint away at surprising speed, their tails held upright, like small flags amid the dust. For them, survival does not come from an imposing appearance, but from resilient adaptation to one of the harshest environments on Earth. Under the sun and wind of Africa, warthogs continue their simple yet resilient lives, an important link in the vast ecological tapestry of the savanna. Along the winding riverbanks that cut through the African savanna, steep earthen cliffs suddenly come alive with color. Against the gray-brown backdrop, streaks of pinkish-red flicker in constant motion. Carmine bee-eaters have returned. The breeding season has begun. Hundreds of individuals gather, transforming the once quiet riverbank into a bustling colony. Their calls echo through the scorching midday African air. With their long, pointed beaks, the bee-eaters dig deep tunnels into the soft earthen walls. At the end of each tunnel lies a nest, where eggs and chicks are protected from the harsh sun and most ground-based predators. They are master hunters of the air. From tree branches, the bee-eaters launch themselves skyward, snatching bees and dragonflies in midair within a split second. Before swallowing their prey, they strike it against a branch to remove the venomous stinger, a small action, but one that determines survival. In the riverine ecosystem, bee-eaters help control populations of flying insects, keeping the environment more balanced. But those vivid colors also carry risk. High above, an African fish eagle circles silently, its eyes never leaving the flock. Beneath the water, a crocodile remains almost motionless. A single dive flown too low could become a final mistake. When danger appears, the entire riverbank suddenly erupts. Hundreds of pink-red wings rise at once, forming a chaotic, swirling cloud. between land, water, and sky, the carmine bee-eaters continue their life cycle, fragile, radiant, and resilient within the wild nature of Africa. Beneath the murky waters of an African river, stillness conceals an ancient threat. A Nile crocodile lies motionless, exposing only its eyes and nostrils above the surface. With its long, powerful body, armor-like thick skin, and razor-sharp jaws possessing one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom, it has ruled riverine realms for millions of years of evolution. Crocodiles are masters of ambush tactics. They can hold their breath for dozens of minutes, remain perfectly still for hours, and wait for the ideal moment. Every movement around them is detected by sensitive receptors in their skin. Sensors capable of perceiving the slightest vibrations in the water. Today, along the riverbank, a pack of African wild dogs arrives to drink. They remain highly alert, drink quickly, then retreat in tight formation. The crocodile has attempted to approach before, but against an opponent that is numerous, well coordinated, and constantly supporting one another, the risk becomes too great. If detected and attacked as a group, even a crocodile can be seriously injured. This time, it chooses patience. Not long after, the ground trembles with pounding hooves. A herd of zebras is approaching. During the Great Migration, rivers like this become deadly trials. Fast currents, deep mud, and invisible predators lurking beneath the surface. One by one, the zebras step into the river, and the crocodile nearly vanishes. Beneath the water, a pair of eyes waits for the moment to arrive. Then, the surface explodes. A precise strike, jaws snapping shut. After a few final tense seconds, the zebra breaks free from the crocodile's grip. In the wild, strength does not guarantee victory. The Nile crocodile may be a fearsome predator, but it depends entirely on timing and the mistakes of its prey. When coordination, numbers, and vigilance favor the zebras, the balance of survival temporarily shifts. The river grows quiet once more, but for the crocodile, the hunt has only been temporarily paused. In wild Africa, every failure is part of survival, and patience remains the greatest weapon of this ancient predator. As the sun slowly tilts toward the horizon, golden light washes over the African grasslands, and the panorama of life continues to unfold. After hunts, escapes, and tense moments along the rivers, the savanna returns to its familiar rhythm, slow, yet never truly still. In the distance, a herd of African elephants moves forward in silence. They are gentle giants, yet unmatched in strength. The herd is led by the oldest female, the keeper of memories, ancient roots, and scarce water sources that have saved the herd through countless droughts. Each elephant's step reshapes the landscape. Trees are pushed over. Pathways are opened, creating opportunities for countless smaller species to survive. In Africa, elephants are not merely inhabitants, they are architects of the ecosystem. Not far away, giraffes stretch their long necks toward the highest treetops. Powerful hearts pump blood more than 2 meters upward, allowing them to reach food sources no other grazing animal can access. In doing so, giraffes reduce competition for food while pruning branches, stimulating plant growth in a way unique to the savanna. Within the dense undergrowth, a leopard hides, nearly invisible, cold. Sharp eyes observe the world in silence. A solitary hunter, the leopard relies on stealth and explosive power. When it strikes, the attack is so swift that the prey scarcely realizes what has happened. To protect its kill from lions or hyenas, the leopard often drags the carcass up into a tree, a distinctive survival strategy. Across the open plains, a cheetah prepares for another chase. With its lightweight body, flexible spine, and long legs, it can reach speeds of over 100 kilometers per hour in just seconds. But such speed comes at the cost of endurance. If it cannot bring down its prey quickly, the cheetah is forced to abandon the hunt, surrendering the meal to others. In the sky above, vultures and other scavenging birds spread their wide wings, circling on rising columns of warm air. They are the savanna's silent cleaners, removing carcasses before disease can spread. For on the ground below, small birds, insects, and countless tiny creatures continue their work, linking each thread in the web of life. As dusk falls, the African savanna is bathed in shades of orange and purple. There are no main characters, no villains, only a fragile balance maintained day after day. Here, every species, large or small, contributes a single heartbeat to the endless symphony of the wild. And as night descends, the cycle continues. Quiet, unforgiving, yet profoundly wondrous. When night envelops the African savanna, the sky opens into a shimmering ocean of stars, so close it feels as though they could be touched. Temperatures drop, and the night wind carries the scent of dry grass and damp earth. In that darkness, life does not stop. It merely shifts into another rhythm, quieter and deeper. The African wild dogs curl up tightly together, the shared warmth of the pack helping them endure the cold night. Beneath the water's surface, the Nile crocodile lies motionless, waiting for a new dawn. In the distance, the elephant herd continues its slow journey. Heavy footsteps filled with memory, following paths their ancestors have walked for thousands of years. Along the riverbank, the nests of carmine bee-eaters rest in silence, sheltering the next generation growing safely within the dark embrace of the earth. Each species, each individual, is playing its role within this complex and delicate ecological network. Predators keep prey populations healthy. Grazers shape the savanna. Birds, insects, and countless small creatures carry out quiet yet essential tasks. No life is redundant. No sacrifice is meaningless. Yet this balanced system, built over millions of years of evolution, can be disrupted in just a few decades. As humans expand farmland, erect fences, build roads, and extract resources, ancient migration routes gradually disappear. As forests are cleared, water sources polluted, and the climate grows harsher, wildlife is left with too little time to adapt. Many species are being pushed to the brink of extinction, not because they are weak, but because the world around them is changing too fast. A savanna without elephants would become overgrown and impoverished. A river without crocodiles and birds would lose its rhythm of life, and an Africa without its great migrations would lose its soul. Protecting the environment is not something luxurious or abstract. It means keeping rivers flowing freely. So, crocodiles, birds, and countless other creatures can continue their life cycles. It means safeguarding grasslands and migration corridors. So, zebras, antelopes, and wild dogs still have paths to survive. It means reducing pollution, combating poaching, and respecting the living spaces of wild animals. Above all, protecting nature is protecting humanity's own future. For we do not stand apart from the natural world. We are part of it. The air we breathe, the water we use, the climate that sustains human civilization, all are inseparably linked to the existence of wild places like Africa. When dawn rises once more over the savanna, a new day begins. Life moves again, and the question is no longer whether nature can continue, but which side we will choose, the side of indifference or the side of preservation. For only when humanity learns to listen to, respect, and protect the wild world can the symphony of life, written by wild dogs, elephants, crocodiles, birds, and countless other beings, continue to resonate, whole and unending, for today and for generations to come. Welcome to Okavango, an oasis of life, but also Africa's most brutal arena. In the realm of jaws and claws, there is no room for error. There is only one law: adapt or become dust. The deadly clash between the rulers of the savanna in the Okavango River basin, a pack of African wild dogs moves along the green grass strips next to the swamps. Patches of black, yellow, and white fur form a camouflage mechanism among the dense vegetation. In the center of the swamp, large elephants push the water with their trunks, creating streams of moisture that disperse into the air. Just below the water, hyacinths, The ridges of the crocodile's backs remain motionless, with only their yellow eyes protruding above the surface of the calm water. The pack of wild dogs stops about 10 meters from the water's edge. Their large, rounded ears turn continuously to pick up the sounds of antelopes drinking on the opposite bank. On the opposite side of the swamp, a group of impala antelopes emerges from the bushes to approach the water source. They stop constantly, ears pricked and snouts raised to sniff the trail of predators. The moment the target enters their field of vision, the pack of wild dogs immediately changes state. The individuals scatter, forming a wide arc to enclose the only escape route into the sparse forest. The hunt ends quickly thanks to the coordination of the entire group, before the noises of the scene begin to attract the attention of larger predators in the area. After the prey falls, the pack of wild dogs concentrates on consuming the meat as quickly as possible. The structure of their jaws allows them to tear and swallow large pieces of meat in a short time, a biological mechanism to cope with the appearance of competitors, such as hyenas or lions. When their bellies are full, the entire pack retreats from the hunting ground, leaving the skeleton for scavengers. They retreat to their den, which is usually an old abandoned wild boar or pangolin lair located under large trees to avoid the intense heat. There, the newly fed individuals regurgitate food for the alpha female and the waiting pups. This is a characteristic collective parenting behavior, which ensures that all members have energy, even if they did not participate directly in the kill. Unlike most canids, which have 5 toes on their front paws, this species has only 4. This feature helps them increase their stride length and optimize their sustained running speed on flat terrain. The ability to digest protein extremely quickly and the behavior of regurgitating food for companions help the pack maintain close social cohesion, making them one of the most cooperative species in the natural world. In the shade of the den, the entire pack lies intertwined to rest, preparing for the next hunting cycle when the temperature drops at dusk. Beneath the canopy of thorny acacia trees surrounding the swamp, a troop of more than 50 baboons occupies the highest level of the ecological structure. Sunlight filters through the leaves, illuminating the rough gray fur of the dominant males sitting imposingly on the thick branches. On the ground, females and young stir the dry leaves and mud near the water in search of tender shoots and snails. The troop's commotion, the screeches over disputed fruit and the crackling of branches, stands in stark contrast to the silence of the pack of wild dogs resting in a nearby den. Some baboon infants separate from the group and approach the edge of the swamp, where the herd of elephants is stirring up the mud. They are drinking water and playing with each other. At that moment, from above, the dry, piercing alarm bark of a sentry baboon echoes as it detects a mottled shadow that has just moved among the bushes. Immediately, the entire troop retreats uphill, creating a chaotic scene with screeches and the shaking of branches. When the small streams dry up, the swamp becomes a mandatory gathering place for all species. The baboon troop has occupied the large, broad-canopied acacia trees that cast shade right next to the shore since early morning. This is a strategic position that allows them to drink water easily while maintaining a wide field of vision to avoid lions. However, the appearance of the pack of wild dogs with their pups breaks this situation of absolute dominance. The dogs do not come just to drink water. The smell of death from their previous meal The tension rises when some inexperienced wild dog pups get too close to the area where the female baboons are watching their young in the undergrowth. The dominant male's alarm bark is not a signal to flee, but an attempt to re-establish boundaries. Amid the chaos of identifying the enemy, the baboon troop decides to launch an all-out attack on any target moving at ground level in order to eliminate the threat around the area they occupy. Wild dogs and baboons engage in an unplanned confrontation, driven by fear and the instinct to protect the next generation in both species. after a few minutes of dramatic clashes, realizing that crossing the baboon troop poses an excessive risk to the pups. The alpha wild dog gives the signal to retreat. The pack slowly retreats into the thicket, keeping a watchful eye until they disappear completely from the baboon's field of vision. The baboons do not pursue them for long. They climb back up into the high branches and continue their warning barks to reaffirm their territorial dominance. In the riverside area. In the Okavango River Basin, baboons function as an organized military entity, endowed with specific evolutionary characteristics for life on land. Their most fearsome feature is their elongated jaw, with fangs that can reach 5 centimeters in length. Sharp, and with a bite force capable of piercing the muscle tissue of their adversary. They have highly sensitive trichromatic vision, which allows them to detect changes in the color of fur among dry grass at a great distance, forming an early warning system for the entire area. The body structure of this species is a combination of the muscular power of the limbs for climbing and firm palms, and soles that adhere well to the ground for sprints. On the open plain, where the ground is churned up by hooves and dried blood, a brutal feast unfolds under the scorching sun. At the center of the scene lies the carcass of a large antelope, surrounded by the chaos of spotted coats and gray wings. The pack of spotted hyenas, with high shoulders and powerful musculature, sinks their heads into the carcass. The sound of teeth grinding echoes incessantly as their jaws, with a bite force of 1,100 pounds per square inch, tear through the hardest bone structures. Around them, dozens of white-backed vultures form a tight circle, flapping their wings, pushing each other, and screeching loudly as they fight over every piece of soft tissue that falls from the hyena's teeth. With an extraordinarily developed jaw system, hyenas not only eat meat, but also consume bones and horns. This allows them to eliminate the remains that other predators such as leopards or wild dogs are forced to leave behind. Their digestive system contains extremely high concentrations of acid, capable of completely dissolving calcium, transforming carrion into energy in just a few hours. When the carrion feast is over, the pack of hyenas begins to disperse to regulate their body temperature under the relentless heat of the savanna. Some large individuals, with swollen bellies, head for a nearby elevated mound. They take advantage of this position to catch the scarce breezes that cross the prairie and maintain a commanding view of the entire plain. There they lie down, with all four legs stretched out on the dry ground, entering a state of deep rest so that their digestive system can process the enormous amount of bones and meat they have just ingested. Meanwhile, other hyenas opt for a more direct way to cool off. They approach shallow pools by the lake, where the gray mud is still wet. They wade into them, allowing the mud to cover their abdomens and limbs, forming a natural insulating layer against the scorching sun. Their eyes become dull, and they barely move, occasionally twitching their rounded ears to ward off the clouds of flies surrounding them. As the sun begins to lose its intensity, at the edge of the sparse forest bordering the swamp, a leopard begins to descend from the top of a giant tree. Unlike the noisy hunting style of wild dogs or the recklessness of hyenas, the leopard acts like a solitary ghost. Its rosette-patterned coat creates a visual distortion effect that allows it to disappear completely as it moves between the intertwined light and shade of the undergrowth. Its target is a herd of impala antelopes that, at the end of the day, gather to graze on the last shoots of tender grass. The leopard lowers its center of gravity, its belly almost grazing the ground. Each step is calculated so as not to break a dry branch or crunch a leaf. It takes advantage of every log and every small mound of earth to close the distance. After killing the impala, the leopard does not eat on the spot. Its biological instinct warns it of the nearby presence of hyenas and lions. With its superior muscular strength, it firmly grasps a prey almost as heavy as its own body and begins to climb the straight trunk of a tree. Thanks to the power of its exceptional shoulder muscles, the leopard grips the impala's neck tightly and begins to ascend the vertical trunk of an acacia tree. Its sharp claws dig deep into the rough bark, creating footholds to lift the entire weight of the prey, sometimes twice its own weight, off the ground. This is a vital biological mechanism for isolating its food from the reach of scavengers, such as hyenas or wild dogs below. At the foot of the tree, some hyenas may wait for scraps of meat to fall, but they are completely powerless against the leopard's climbing prowess. The leopard need only calmly enjoy its booty high above, as the glow of sunset gradually fades over the savanna. When the female enters her heat period, she emits chemical signals through her urine and characteristic vocalizations to attract males from nearby territories. For a period of 7 to 10 days, the pair hunts and mates continuously. However, immediately after this period, the solitary instinct reappears. The male leaves and plays no role in raising or protecting the next generation. After a gestation period of approximately 90 to 105 days, the leopardess seeks out a discreet rocky cave or dense undergrowth near a water source to give birth. Each litter usually consists of 2 to 3 cubs at birth. They are completely blind and weigh around 500 grams, with faint spots on their fur that optimize their camouflage in the darkness of the den. At around 3 months of age, the cubs begin to follow their mother to learn how to move around and observe the world around them. The mother teaches them to climb from a very early age. The branches are not only places to sleep, but also the first school where they learn that, in the savanna, safety is found at height. The leopard has the ability to adjust its reproductive cycle based on the abundance of food resources. If she loses a litter due to predator attack, she can quickly enter a new cycle of heat to ensure that population density is maintained in the harsh African ecosystem. Today's African ecosystem faces a serious survival crisis, as population growth and the expansion of agricultural land have fragmented ancient migration corridors, pushing species that require large spaces, such as wild dogs, into isolated ecological oases. Increasingly close contact between wildlife and humans not only causes direct conflicts over territory, but also facilitates the transmission of deadly pathogens from livestock to wildlife, threatening to wipe out already fragile populations. In addition, climate change is exacerbating water shortages in key wetlands, forcing large predators to compete with unprecedented intensity to stay alive. On the vast savanna, every species, from predator to prey, is bound together in a delicate web of survival. And sometimes, at fragile boundaries like riverbanks, apex predators are forced to confront one another,